Welcome back to day 195. Yeah. God, I'm tired. Yesterday was a roller coaster. I got up. A meeting lasted like 9 minutes. Worth it. Then I stayed up, and then I was like, cool, I'm really tired at like 7 o'clock in the afternoon. I was in bed, and then I slept because my body's like, this is weird. Got up at like 3 in the morning. Here we are at 8 in the morning. So we'll see how this goes. So instead of doing this later, I'm doing it now. Usually I do it much in the afternoon, but here we are. I don't think I've ever listened to something 195 times. And I don't think I even listened to a song that many times. I don't think I listened to anything 197 times. Anyways, I got a cool part in Resident Evil 7 where you're going and you defeated the mom. The mom has a really cool, very classic, like metal, high pitch horror sound. But then it goes even more intense with with one of the voices when you get the arm, and it gets even more. Oh man, that was so cool. That was so cool. So cool. Yeah, that was really cool. I did not think it would be actually as terrifying as it was. When the mom in her secondary form grabs the lantern and pulls it. That was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie, that was really cool. It was really cool because I like that. Later on in her fight scene, I was like, But that scene where she like goes into the tunnel and she puts her hand out, like grabs. Oh, that was cool. And then when you walk around and you go and try to get the arm, that moment of trying to get the arm was really, like, the music intensifies, you turn around and you see the legs of the person. It was really cool. It was really cool. My game runs, but streaming it sucks. So that's fun. But it's really really well done. Yeah, when I defeated the mom and I couldn't climb up the ladder, I just kept blowtorching her upwards, but it just like, I kept being fine, and I was like, she's like, why can't you just go down or stay down? And I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just hitting you with fire from down here. And she dies, and I'm like, that can't be the boss fight. And then she transforms. I'm like, yeah, that. Well, I wasn't. I was like actually looking downwards. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I am hot. I need some water. I feel a little queasy because on my empty stomach I had cereal, and I hate that. And I read the leaked script. I don't know if it's confirmed. Because like people are like, it's copyrighted, so it's confirmed. And I'm just like, you know, people copyright a lot of things that just have the name on it. Doesn't mean it's actually legit. And I'm reading it. There was some moments that actually could be. No, let me restart. I think it could be interesting if it wasn't the Powerpuff Girls. Hear me out. Don't try to do the Powerpuff Girls. You know, like the Umbrella Academy does it. Kid prodigies, superheroes. Here's them later in life. Just get new characters and then do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be these characters that is a different universe anyways than the ones that we know. And it's a little odd because they mentioned that they were first created at 7 years old. Like, they were born at like 7, but then that was in 96 or something, and then it's 2021, so they turned 25, but their mentally was already 7. So if they were already 7, then are they 31 mentally? Did they mentally change at all? Can they mentally change? Because they were not 7 when they were 7, you know? So it's like, is the implication that they mentally don't change their age? Only physically? Is what's going on with that? And then, hear me out, just make it sidekicks. Just make it a different random sidekicks. Honestly, it could have been way better, and it would have been the whole DC Marvel world. But if you went and got just sidekicks, not like Robin, low grade sidekicks, and just made it out of sidekicks that people don't normally get to see, I think that could have been way more interesting than it being like, yeah. She got literally, it's just on the phone. It would literally be so much better if you just got random other superheroes, or even made your own superheroes. Hear me out. People, apparently, big companies are like, oh, reboot. Just write your own original gosh darn story. Like, it doesn't even fit the characters that they already had. Like, Mojo Jojo is no longer Mojo Jojo, it's Mojo and Joe. Mojo and Jojo, father and son. In this, again, don't know if it's legit or not, but I read half of it, because I was like, but it was actually kind of interesting, because I personally, I like certain stories, like in, I don't know, just like, oh, he's like, this evil, but then showing, I don't know, there was one scene that was written where he's like, he tripped over a pair of shoes, but he still wanted to be intimidating, so he's like, 12 hours or whatever, but like, in the script, it's like, he looked stupid, like, he looked foolish, and I'm just like, what? It could have been really interesting, to have that-ness to him, but for everything else, I don't know why we need them to be the actual Powerpuff Girls. Also, script, like character-wise versus who they casted is kind of also a thing, because they really fall into Blossom being the smart one. Blossom is the academic one. Blossom is the super straight one, and it's just like, okay, so she's the intelligent one, played by an Asian woman. Okay. Buttercup, she's the, you know, kicking people, beating people up, which she always has been, but she is very tough and not emotional, which could be a thing if they were like, she's tough and emotional, person, tough and not emotional, but you know, she actually is, or something. Like, it could be a thing, but I just don't trust people to write that very well. But that's not the point. But having her be then the black woman, and then Bubbles is a drug addict, alcoholic, wanting to be famous. I don't know. Anyway, she's played by a white woman, pretty sure. And it just, that then also paired with the professor, I get it, they're trying to add diversity to it, but then the professor is a black man, but he's also abusive in a way, if not just straight up. So I'm just like, okay, and I don't know, man. And then why did they call him Drake Utonium? Why? Well, that's just not a good name. And Sarah Blossom for Miss Blossom. I don't know, man. And people are like, the costumes don't look good, but I give it, that's like their OG costumes. So, yeah, I don't know, man. And the thing is, but the worst part is that with these things, when they do this, and I think it kind of started back in the day with Riverdale, they didn't try at the very beginning of Riverdale for this. I'm not saying that. But when people started hate watching Riverdale for being that bad of a reboot, to be like, wow, people really don't like it, they decided to lean into it being that ridiculous. People hate watching. People hate buying. I hate buying things. Like, people hate buying things. Like, they bought t-shirts and hats and just items of Riverdale to be like, haha, it's so bad. But it's just like, or even just hate watching. Apparently the Winx Club, people are like, this is really bad looking. Apparently got a season 2, and I'm like, that one got a season 2? That show? Really? And like, give it, maybe their numbers were good, because again, people do hate watch. But I'm just like, so now I wouldn't even be surprised if they make a purposefully bad thing to be like, oh, people love bad TV. Yeah, but you're artificially making bad TV. I even, honestly, low-key, I'm like, is this even a fake, or A, is it just a fake script? But B, is it a early release script that they already are redoing? If that was the one that they filmed, they're already redoing it anyways, so it doesn't matter if it's leaked. But then, if it is not even what they filmed, and they're like, release a bad script to be like, oh wow, this is gonna be horrible, just so people talk about it. Like, people with Sonic the Hedgehog movie, people are like, you changed Sonic? and I don't want to watch it if it's gonna actually be like a better done thing. So it's like, if they're like, oh, okay, so you really like badly done, badly made, maybe even low-key badly acted things just to get that quick penny of being like, okay, people like talking about it, people like watching it, people are going to do it. So I say like, people will do it, so they will get money. Instead of when people watch kind of comically like bad, just bad TV, like, wow, this wasn't well done or well made or had a good budget. Mainly right now, I'm thinking of Gallivant is a really good example where they had no budget. They didn't think they were gonna get a season 2. So when they did, they're like, really? And that wasn't, like, you can tell they didn't have a budget. They didn't. And the idea that people are gonna, I don't know. And then they're artificially making it this way. And, you know, we talk about probably, like, I know bad 80s horror movies were huge. It's like a thing. It's bad 80s horror movies. And so with that, there's like early 2000s bad TV shows is kind of its own genre. So I guess now it's like they're trying to make that, and it's like, that's not how that works. You can't artificially make bad TV that people want to, it won't go down in history as people see through it, and it bothers me because I think more people need to see through it, because it's not good. It's not good. And I hate it, and it just bothers me. It bothers me. So I do wonder how bad it's gonna be. I'm not gonna watch it. But yeah, I think it's like one of those things where it's like, why don't you just get other characters and then do it? I think that the Powerpuff Girls, they're just actually people's childhood, where it's like, you don't have to ruin it. Just either make it really, really well done, which could be an interesting thing, or which can be kind of dark. I mean, anything would be kind of sad. You could have made it good, but you didn't. You could have even talked about how, or like, it could have been such a political thing too. But no one has the balls to do that, you know? No one has the guts. Hollywood sucks.